This is the first chapter of the story. Chapter 1, Meeting the Saviors. A blond boy woke up in a king-sized bed in an extremely lavish room adorned with all types of things which were appropriate for a high-class devil's room. If you looked closely, the boy looked to be about 19 years old enough to have his own peerage, but surprisingly he did not have one. The cause of this misfortune on the devil was his status as the bastard child of Manessa Grimmery and Coda Astaroth. He had been an outcast in the devil's society, especially in the Grimmery and Astaroth clans. He was a product of a one-night stand between two drunk people, so it was natural for devils who valued power and respect to resent him. He had a half-brother who was the true bastard of the two. He was sick in the head. He liked breaking women and girls to his heart's content. His peerage was enough proof of that, as 13 of them were nuns who he had captured from different churches. This led to an intense hatred between the two, as Naruto respected women. This caused the two to fight every time they met alone, but enough about his half-brother. He had been ordered to be executed then and there by Lord Grimmery and Lord Astaroth, but his mother had escaped with him to the human world. His mother had been killed on his 7th birthday by his father and Lord Grimmery when he had pleaded her to visit his birthplace as his birthday gift. He still cursed himself every night for it. He had been living in the devil world since his Venelana Grimmery and the whole Bale clan, Phoenix clan and Citri clan had stood up for him that day to save him due to his mother's good deeds. He had been saved, but all the clans who had supported him had been banned of any contact with him unless he be killed. He had then decided on that day he would become strong enough to repay his debt to the 3 clans and Venelana Grimmery. And today he had been contacted by Venelana Grimmery and the Phoenix household to help them with a problem. It was his duty to help them with anything they wanted, as they had saved his life, after all. So, with this resolve, he got up and went through his morning rituals. Just as he was heading towards the kitchen for a quick breakfast, he bumped into an unimaginably cute blonde girl with big emerald green eyes, which were staring cutely at him. "Naruto-sama, why are you in such a hurry?" asked the girl. "Well, you see, Asia, I have an important meeting today, and I won't be home till late night, so could you make sure the others don't burn down the mansion in my absence?" Naruto spoke seriously as he knew the pain of finding a new house after his family destroyed the old one. He knew it too well, as it was their 35th mansion in fact. "Okay, Naruto-sama, please take care of yourself," the girl, now identified as Asia, spoke with a gentle tone. "Asia, what did I tell you? You don't have to call me Naruto-sama every time. Just Naruto is fine," Naruto said in a commanding tone. He knew she would not listen otherwise. She was new to the family. He had saved her from some fallen angel who were trying to fool the innocent girl into believing that they were good people and would take care of her. But in truth, they were going to extract her sacred gear. She had been excommunicated from the church due to a dark plot by his half-brother to capture her and break her. However, Naruto had arrived in time to save her. So, she thought she was inclined to thank him and be respectful toward him. "Why yes, Naruto-sa. I mean, Naruto," she said while flinching back due to his tone. "I did not mean to be forceful, but please understand I did nothing but correct my brother's folly." He seriously wanted to help her into her new life of a devil. And it had to start with telling her the truth of what really happened to her. He had informed her of that as soon as he made her a devil. "Yes, Naruto," Asia said more confidently. Seeing her calming down, he made his way to the kitchen and had a quick breakfast. Dash plus 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 line break plus 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 plus. He was again standing in his room dressed in formal attire, donning a purple coat with real gold lining proper for a meeting of high-class devils. He was internally debating on how to talk to them as they were the ones who saved him, but they also were high-class devils. "I'll just wing it, I guess." With that, he teleported away to the Phoenix household. In the Phoenix mansion, several minutes before his arrival, a gorgeous, brown-haired woman appeared through a magic circle bearing the Grimmery crest. This woman of otherworldly beauty was none other than Vinalana Bale, as she had ended her marriage when she learned that her husband had killed her best friend and had tried to kill her child too. "So, you finally appeared, Velly. I thought I would have to meet him alone," spoke an equally beautiful Ruina Phoenix. "You know I would never miss a chance like this to meet him in person after so long," spoke Lady Bale airily. "Well, same here. I heard he inherited both the clan's powers." "Yeah, me too. It would be a perfect chance to see if the rumors are true." Their conversation was brought to an abrupt stop due to a red magic circle appearing on the yellow carpet and a green one appearing on the ceiling, both adorning the Grimoire and Astaroth crests respectively. Both the magic circles came together in a clash, creating a purple one hovering above the carpet, from which a magnificent purple dragon seemed to appear roaring, creating a loud roaring sound which scared the shit out of them. The dragon receded, slowly fading away, and a boy of about 19 years of age seemed to take its place. To say they were amazed would be an understatement. Manipulating and creating two magic circles was unheard of, and such display of magic to a teleportation circle was thought as impossible. True, some clans could call upon specific elements, like the fire of the phoenix, but those circles were created by elder devils who existed before the Great War and were killed as they were too great a threat due to their extreme talent of magic manipulation. To say a boy, only 19, could do so was outrageous. This confirmed the gossip, as this could only be possible if he inherited both energy and magic manipulation from the Astaroth clan and enormous magic reserves and slight resistance to all magic, including light magic, from the Grimoire clan. To say he would be a beast in combat would be an understatement. "Greetings, Lady Phoenix, Lady Bale," came a voice which screamed of authority. Both the women in the room were a bit intimidated by his voice, but did not show it. "Greetings to you too, Mr. Naruto," both said in unison. "Welcome to the Phoenix household." Lady Phoenix welcomed the blonde. "It is a pleasure to meet such gorgeous and esteemed ladies. I know you saved my life due to your bonds with my mother. For that I am deeply grateful, so I have decided to give each of you a favor, which can be used to ask for my help any time. This time I'll help you for free, but next time your favor would be over. Got it, ladies?" Naruto asked, his voice rich with authority and command. "Why, yes," both said, again in unison. They did not know what to do. Should they blush for his comment or stand still due to the steel in his voice? They could not fathom the boy in front of them. He was an enigma. "Well then, now that the formal talk is over, I'm really glad to meet my mother's best friends and my saviors," Naruto said warmly, surprising the two as they could not comprehend the sudden shift of personality. "Don't be so surprised. I have to be like that in front of other high-class devils, as most of them think of me as a weakling who they can exploit to their heart's content," Naruto said, chuckling at the look on their faces. "Why, yeah, it's just astonishing to look at a boy the age of 19, to be well versed in the devil customs and be powerful as well," said Vinalana, with Rina also nodding in agreement. "Let's just get the facts straight. I'm not 19 years old anymore. I'm more like 21, as I have been to another dimension where my true self in this world did not end, or you could say it was as if I never went anywhere. And before you ask, I'm not gonna tell how and where, as it is personal information," Naruto said seriously. Both the women's thoughts were along the same lines. What the hell? It's like he can read minds. "No, I can't read minds. It's just that I'm very good at reading people." Both of them thought the same thing, like, seriously. When they calmed down, Vinalana took the opportunity to speak. "We have invited you here to ask for your help in a very urgent matter." Naruto gave them a smirk. "I hope it's not about the wedding." "Yes, it is, and I won't even ask how you know this, as the wedding is basically public knowledge," Vinalana said as she gave him a tight smile. "Let me guess, you want me to crash this wedding as you don't want your daughter's future to be spoiled, and Lady Phoenix is fed up of her family's antics, right?" Now, Naruto's smirk was full on his face, indicating his amusement. "Why, yes. Then Alana simply said, as she had already guessed, that this boy, no, this man, was quite knowledgeable about the inner workings of their world. Okay, it'll be done, said Naruto said laughingly. Yes, we will see you in the wedding, and if you need any support we will be happy to provide it, Lady Phoenix said while still trying to study the man in front of her. Oh, and do you want me to stop your daughter from ending the wedding through vile methods? Naruto asked, still amused. What? Then Alana asked, confused. Oh, your daughter is trying to give up her virginity to her pawn to stop the marriage, Naruto said in a nonchalant manner, as if talking about the weather. What? Of course. Go stop her, I'll send Graphia too. Well, I'm off to the Hayadu residence, I guess, Naruto said as he vanished in the same way he arrived, leaving the two stunned for a second. Hayadu residence, East Say POV. Just as my hands reached her enormous, magnificent, beautiful, otherworldly, I just did not have enough words to describe the pinnacle of mankind before my mind, Ape. The thing I have gone lengths to see were staring at me, jiggling slightly, as if encouraging me to touch them. A black magic circle appeared on the floor. A chill went through my spine, even Rias shivered a bit. The room go a lot colder than before. A blond boy no more than 19 appeared from it. The boy had blonde locks spiking every direction, giving him a rugged appearance. This magic circle. I haven't seen it before. Who is this boy? I had guessed that Graphia would come. Rias, who was on top of me, started mumbling to herself. You know doing this won't stop Riser, the boy simply stated, and this seemed to enrage Rias. Ah. Now I remember, you're the bastard who hasn't been seen in any devil meeting for the last 12 years. What business do you have here? Rias exclaimed and got up, her épée bouncing along with her. She simply dressed up again. I just lost it. This boy had taken my precious épée time from me. I'll beat him up for this folly. Hey you! What are you doing here, you son of a bitch? You're taking my precious épée time from me. Just get lost and die. I jumped from my bed and rushed to punch him. I could faintly hear Rias say, oh no. I thought she said so as she knew the guy was a goner when my punch would land. But later on, I would know how I had made a grave mistake that day. 3rd person POV, same time. Naruto had remained calm when the redhead had called him bastard, but his demeanor broke down when the lowly pawn called his mother a bitch. The fact his mother, the mother who sacrificed herself to save him, had been called a bitch by this little shit just enraged him to no end. He lost control of his aura and flared it to its limit. Thankfully it was his dormant stage. If it had been 2 or more, the dickhead would have incinerated then and there, but this still caused him to be pushed back with extreme force on the wall, nearly making a man-sized hole in it. The room had reached freezing point. Black ice started forming on the crust of his shoes and started expanding outwards. His aura had caused massive damage to the boy, instantly knocking him down, and he was sure most of the bones in his body would be damaged, some even broken. The redhead was on her knees, breathing heavily, sweat trickling down her face. It was clear she wasn't faring very well, so he receded his aura. I apologize for losing my temper like this, Miss Grimmery. Naruto apologized sincerely, as he shouldn't have lost his temper like this, and that too due to the insults of a low-class devil. Humph, you should apologize to my pawn over here, whom you injured so badly. Rias scoffed. Ah, over that topic I can outright kill him right now for insulting a high-class devil, you know? But I'm not doing it, as I have come in the stead of Lady Bale. It would not look good if I killed her daughter's only pawn, right? Asked the chuckling Naruto, who had quickly recomposed himself. Why you dare insult me, the Lucifer's sister? Are you out of your damn mind? Rias clearly looked enraged. Who gives a damn if you are the sister of the goddamn Lucifer? To me you are Rias, just Rias. Rias flinched back in pain, but Naruto, who had spoken those words, didn't even bat an eyelash. How? Asked a confused Rias, as even the people of Grimmery household got pain from invoking the god's name, but this boy is clearly unaffected. It's simple, I just have high enough resistance to be unaffected by it. Just before they could continue their conversation, a blue magic circle lit up on the floor indicating the arrival of another devil. Yo, Gray, it's been some time, Naruto greeted the familiar devil who came out of the circle. Yes, it has been Naruto. Graphia greeted friendly. Graphia was an extremely beautiful woman who had curves which could go in 4 miles. She simply was a seductress in a maid suit, which made her look even more sexy in Naruto's opinion. Rias, on the other hand, was blinking rapidly, her face indicating extreme confusion. She could not understand the situation in front of her. Graphia never greeted anyone in a friendly way, like never ever, but here she was seeing her doing so. Greetings, Rias-sama. See, this is what she was talking about. She greets everyone with a sama suffix. Graphia, why are you so friendly with Naruto? Well, you see, he was my boyfriend 2 years ago, but we had decided to break up as he had to leave on a long journey, but he promised to patch up again when we met again, so I was just happy at the thought of having my boyfriend back. Graphia replied happily, but the one who should be listening had been knocked unconscious due to shock. Naruto put his hand on Graphia's waistline and pulled her closer. I never knew you loved me so much. Naruto purred in her ear. And Naruto, please, not here, who knew she would feel so weak on her knees. It just felt like a volcano was erupting within her as she remained in close proximity with him. Naruto released her with a large smirk on his face. As you wish, my lady, meet you at the wedding. Naruto bowed before vanishing the same way he came. 11 days later, events happen same as in canon, except that Asia is not there and Issei is a bigger pervert than in canon and tries to steal panties and bras of the girls, irritating them immensely. Naruto's house. A group of 9 individuals were standing in front of him, back straight, stiff postures, the correct posture for a soldier. Today you all are who are to accompany me to the wedding, as the others are not ready for exposure right now. Their discovery could cause a huge uproar, understand? Naruto spoke with command. Sir, yes sir, came a loud reply from the group. At ease, we are now going to teleport there. At the party. Just as Issei finished his loud proclamation that he was the one who would take Rias's virginity, which caused many to make faces of disgust, even Rias felt disgusted and extremely embarrassed by the loud proclamation. They were interrupted by a red magic circle appearing on the carpet and a green one appearing on the ceiling, both adorning the Grimmery and Astaroth crests respectively. Both the magic circles came together in a clash, merging into a pure black one hovering above the carpet, from which a magnificent black dragon seemed to appear, roaring, creating a loud roaring sound, and caused vibrations to travel through them, scaring the shit out of most of the guests. The dragon receded, slowly fading away, and a boy of about 19 years of age and 9 other people whose faces were covered by hoods seemed to take its place. As the awe and fear factors slowly receded, Riser asked loudly, Riser demands, who tries to disrupt this auspicious event of Riser's wedding, state your task here. We are here to crash this damn wedding. Came an equally loud reply. And cut. I know most of you will have this question: if Naruto doesn't have evil pieces, then who are these people and how did he make Asia a devil? Well, the answers is, I won't tell you, you will have to find out in the next chapter. Winky face. Chapter 2. It's gonna be really short, ha ha ha. Getting a new servant. As Rias was getting ready for the party, her gaze fell on the mirror in front of her. She could see her face set into a proper aristocratic face as it should be, but cracks were forming on the mask, showing her true self. A girl trying to brave the storm ahead her, but failing to hold on. You know you can drop the mask when you are alone, came a voice behind her. So engrossed had she been in her melancholy that she failed to notice someone behind her. Who let you in? She whirled herself into a standing position, facing him with an indigent face. I do not need someone else's permission to enter my own house, Naruto said with his trademark smirk. You were disowned bastard. You. Before she could complete the sentence, she found her back forcefully pushed against the wall with him lifting her hands above her head pressing against the wall. I don't like it when people call me a bastard, I tend to get angry. Naruto came closer staring right into her eyes. And you can drop the spoilt princess act. What could you know? You bastard, she said as she squirmed under his gaze trying her utmost to push him away. I know that you train at night to become strong enough so that you can leave this family. I know that you even tried to run away once and got caught by the fallen when someone came to save you. I know that you were praying for him to save you again. Naruto said as a soft smile formed on his face, his expression being leagues above the arrogant one he had before. And here I am red, he releases her and hugs her softly. You came, his face was different, his voice was different, but his eyes were the same, the eyes that came in her mind whenever she felt like letting go, giving her strength to hold on. He rubbed her head as she sobbed softly, tears came gushing down her face staining his chest. Why did you leave me? Why didn't you come before? Why wait till now? She wanted to ask all these questions, but only the 3 words came from her mouth: I love you. All of these questions did not matter as long as she loved him. All that matters is that he came back. I know, he said as his eyes moistened a little. I knew this when I left, but I had to go as I wasn't strong enough. But I am now, he said as he tightened his grip on her. You could have told me who you were. I would not tell anybody, came her muffled voice as her face was tightly pressed onto his chest. And you would try your best to find me and bring me back to the Grimmery house. I know you too well, Red. That I admit I would do, Rias said with a blushing face. Let's get serious now, Naruto said as he releases her and makes her sit back on her bed. We have the problem of your marriage now. We have 2 options: either you become my servant or I will have to fight your brother to stop the marriage and hide you somewhere safe for some time, as he and your father are the instigators behind all this. The choice is yours, he said in a soft voice, as it is a life-turning decision for her. I know you love your freedom and being my servant will take it all from you, but this is the only way I can stop this marriage without showing my true power. I'll be your servant. If it was anybody else, I would die rather than have my freedom taken away, but you, I trust you with my life. And I want to help you, not be a burden to you. Rias replied with determination shining in her eyes. But how will you make me your servant? You don't have the chess set. She knew that because of her father and his friends, Naruto did not get his own chess pieces to create his own peerage. How do you think the old devils handled their servants before the peerage system? My so-called elder brother just modified the blood contact used by old devils to bound others as servants to generate a chess set that could do the same. He is just as bigoted as your brother. He removed the blood contact from history books to take credit. I just digged a little bit and found the original blood contact method, Naruto said with a faint smile. Okay, let's get on with it, Rias said with a blushing face, as after this she will become his forever. A ornate knife appeared on his hand magically. He slashed his wrist as blood sprouted out. Rias looked horrified as he drew a circle made of blood around her. He closed onto her and kissed her brows, and then using his fingers created a magic circle on her with an infinity sign in the middle. Will you, Rias Grimmery, daughter of Zeaticus Grimmery, follow me till the end of me? Yes. Do you give you accept that from now on your body, your soul will belong to me? Yes. I, Naruto Uzumaki, promise to make you reach heights you have never imagined. I, Naruto Uzumaki, promise to love you till my last breath. Are you, Rias Grimmery, willing to take me as your master? Yes, master. Chapter 3. Time skip to the wedding party. We are here to crash this damn wedding, came an equally loud reply. On listening to the voice, Rias's face lit up. She wanted to run to Naruto, but Naruto had asked her to stay put until he calls for her. Whispering noises from the devil's prison created a large commotion. Who is this? who is foolish enough to interrupt the wedding when Serzex himself is present. MMH, look at this handsome hunk, he looks delicious. What are you doing here, you imbecile? Rias is mine and I will be the one to take her virginity, Issei shouted on top of his lungs on seeing Naruto, but if one looked closely one could see his legs quivering. Having almost all of your bones broken could leave a pretty deep trauma on you. Thank God Serzex came to heal him, making it possible for him to come here in time. As if I would let you do that, Naruto scoffed at Issei. You never learn. Wasn't yesterday enough for you? Naruto snickered at the pitiful creature before him. He could see him flinch on remembering the pain he went through yesterday. Why don't we all calm down a little bit? The red-haired Lucifer strolled in with a calculating tinge in his eyes. Let him have his moment, Naruto smirked on the inside. Why don't we have a small competition between those fighting for Rias's hand, that is excluding our dear Naruto. He is an exterminated devil not worthy of fighting for my dear Rias's hand. But I don't like his infuriating face. Let it be a three-way match. I would like to show everyone the might of Phoenix House. Riser being the obnoxious devil he has had to take revenge for ruining his wedding party. Well, even if this red-haired git asked me to fight, why would I fight for something that is already mine? But let them have their fun. I won't fight this lowlife. Even one of my servants can beat you, Naruto said with his trademark smirk on his face. Why you? Just as Riser was preparing to fight Naruto for insulting him, he was stopped by Serzex. How are capable of having servants? You don't have your chess set with you. It was never given to you, Serzex asked with authority in his voice. I have my ways. I don't have to answer to a red-haired pounce like you. Naruto had a calm face as if the Lucifer didn't mean anything to him. This created another commotion as no one had imagined that someone could go against the current Lucifer. You sure have guts, Naruto, that I can give you. I will let this insult slide for now. Let's have your servant fight with them as expected. The red-haired devil was smarter than others thought him to be. He had thought of angering him, but he could sense that something fishy was going on. Let me see what you're capable of, Naruto, Serzex murmured as he watched the blonde devil in front of him. Well, he will be a thought opponent, having both muscle and brains in him, but challenges is what I crave for. Making him beg for death would be a good sacrifice for Mother. He was smiling on the inside, but had a passive look on his face. Alina, be sure to leave him alive. As you say, darling, an icy cold but mesmerizing voice could be heard from one of the hooded people who came with him. She stepped up and removed the whole robe that covered her frame, revealing a bombshell of a woman with blue hair and deep black eyes. Her figure could topple supermodels out of their pedestal. Her face shimmering as if it was sculpted out of pure ice. Devils surrounding them could not help but stare at her, their mouths salivating on the thought of ravaging her. But one man was unnerved by her appearance. Turn down your charm, Alina, or they would lose themselves to lust, Naruto said in a chiding tone, but his lips couldn't help but twitch at the scene before him. All high-class devils losing themselves to lust, even some of the ultimate-class devils, excluding the 4 great Satans. Well, it can't be helped. Lust was one of the 7 sins. Mui, you are such a turn down sometimes. Alina burst out a last blast of charm and then turned it down. The power of charm could be seen as the last blast had made many devils into drooling idiots. The charm had maximum effect on males, but females also could feel its effects. What the fuck, I'll make her my bitch after the fight. Her supple body would be heavenly on the bed. Riser had even started to ravage her in his mind. It seems I have underestimated him. I'll have to make a backup plan if Riser is defeated, Serzex murmured as he tried to unveil the mystery surrounding Naruto. Grafia came up and started the match. Please stand still. You will be teleported to a dimension dedicated for personal fights of high-class devils. Hold up, what do I get for fighting you, bastard? For what is already mine? Riser already had a plan in mind, making him kill 2 birds with 1 arrow. What do you want, Riser? Serzex knew what was going on in his mind, but he still had to ask for pretending. I want the blue-haired bitch to be my servant and the red dragon's inner jewel of power if I win. Riser had an evil smirk on his face. Well, are you two ready to have a bet with him? Serzex could hear murmurs around the crowd. This bet was pretty huge. You could see the hesitation in Issei's face as boosted gear was only thin that made him important in the Devil's Society. But on remembering his trump card, he felt that there was no way he could lose. I would love to bet with this bastard. Why should I bet with you? It's an ancient tradition. Any guy can challenge the groom to fight for the bride's hand. You could see the tension on Reiser's face on failing to acquire a new plaything. Of course I could indulge in betting if I could win something in the bet. Something like the phoenix blood essence in your veins. Naruto had played his cards. Now it was the time to wait for a good harvest. Reiser had an ugly expression on his face as if he was constipated. Phoenix blood was what made him immortal. If it was taken away, he would turn into just another low-class devil. Seeing conflict on Reiser's face, Naruto winked at Rias secretly. Rias came closer to Rias and whispered sensually in his ears, I will be yours if you can beat him. All my power as the heir of the Gremory family would belong to you then. It was said greed and lust were the greatest sins, and that is what she was targeting right now. Let us bet then. A complicated look flashed on the face all the key devils like the Lucifer and Reiser's father. This bet had gone out of proportions. Such a bet hadn't been made in a long time. Well, let him bet. Even if he wins, I have the power to force him to forego the bet. Serzex had dark look in his eyes showing that he was up to no good. Then swear it on River Styx. Naruto had put out the bait. Now it was the time to reap the rewards. I swear it on River Styx that I will uphold my end of bet. Reiser, being the stupid devil he is, as he swore on River Styx without thinking much. His mind was clouded by lust and greed, making him thoughtless. Thunder could be heard as if the deities acknowledged this bet. Horror crossed over on Serzex's face, even on all the devils who had highest positions in society. They knew that now this bet could not be altered or stopped now. Well, I will have to do some extensive damage control after this, Serzex murmured under his breath with a dark look on his face. Thank you for such a wonderful gift, Reiser. You'll never know what hit you. Naruto had happiness all over his face. I swear it on River Styx to uphold my end of bet. I swear it. On River Styx to uphold my end of bet. Both Naruto said it loud, and divine thunder could be heard above, even on hell, showing the might of the promise made on River Styx. Graphia again took control of the situation. Let us start the match. You will be teleported in 3, 2, 1. Magic circles flashed beneath the three contestants, and they were flashed to another dimension. Let me burn you too. Reiser gave out an evil laugh as he unleashed this trademark phoenix flames. Huh. Alina gave a gentle laugh as she fired up an icy blue magic circle. Chapter 4. Total overdose. Mist started spilling from the magic circle. The mist was quite powerful, freezing the area around Alina. I forgot to tell you, Elian is a witch from another dimension. Having the blood of Ice Phoenix in her veins makes her as powerful as an ultimate class devil. Naruto had a taunting look as he looked at the stunned Lucifer. Reiser was astonished on seeing such a scenario. He had goosebumps on his skin as if feeling danger on an instinctive level. Even Issei was staring at her with his eyes open. Dryag had contacted him and told him to either run or surrender. Her power levels are off the chart and there is something off about her aura. Either run or surrender, I am helpless in this situation. Was Dryag's verdict about her. But what about my trump card? No devil can stand against it. Issei said with a perverted face. If he won, he would be able to ask for all the rewards of the bet himself. I have warned you, my host, the decision is yours, Dryag said in a calm tone. The perverted nature of his host would surely lead to his downfall. Let's talk with our fists instead of our mouths. Reiser had regained his confidence on remembering that he had the flames of rebirth with him. Reiser lifted his hands above his head and a ball of concentrated phoenix fire started hovering above his hands. The ball was growing large by the second. As the ball grew 2 meters in diameter, he bent his spine backwards to the fullest and then sprung back like a spring, throwing the huge flame ball on Alina at breakneck speed. On seeing the approaching flame ball, Alina chuckled lightly. She pushed her palm in the forward direction towards the incoming fireball. The mist around her came together to form a palm print in the air, rushing towards the fireball. Boom! The fireball was crushed by the incoming palm made of icy fog. The fireball split up into millions of small flames, lighting up the sky, creating a mesmerizing scene for all except for one, Riser. He was panicking as the palm continued coming towards him with increasing speed. Riser's instincts saved him as his body automatically unleashed its potential to the fullest. Orange Phoenix made up of dense flames covered his body. The air around him shimmered due to extreme heat. "Now that's something interesting," Alina murmured as she watched his transformation. Just as the icy palm was going to impact Riser, a red-armored Issei sneak attacked Riser from behind, causing him to face both the attacks at the same time. "This is what you get when you ignore the Red Dragon Emperor." Issei had a huge smirk on his face. "Transfer." Issei watched as his fist tore away through his chest, directly crushing his heart. The icy palm also impacted his back, sending him sprawling downwards. Riser's body created a mini crater on the earth around him. The engrossing part was that the strong and immortal Riser was screaming his heart out with pain. His chest looked rotten and he was clutching it as if it was burning. The icy fog that lingered on his body started counteracting his flames of rebirth, slowing down his recovery. "There is something wrong with that boy's hand," Naruto said with squinted eyes. All the devils around them were thinking the same. Having seen Riser perform in numerous raiding games, they knew how powerful he was. Defeating him with one punch is impossible. "It's your turn now," Issei shouted out loud, his lustful eyes staring at Alina's bosom. "Come at me, you pervert." Alina made a come here motion. These kind of perverts are kind of people she hates the most. Issei fired up his thrusters and rushed towards her at full throttle. Alina raised her hands in an elegant fashion, causing all the icy fog around her to come together and spin at high speed, forming a mini tornado around her. She pushed her hands towards him, causing the tornado to fly at him at groundbreaking speed. Issei's mind went blank as he saw a tornado about to collide with him. "Dryac, transfer all the power to the dragon armor, fast." Issei roared in a panicked tone. "Boost! Boost! 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 Transfer!" His suit glowed crimson red, lighting up the domain. When the tornado hit him, it was filled with shards of ice whizzing inside it. As he collided with it, he was bombarded with those shards. They slowly broke his armor bit by bit as he was spinning crazily inside the tornado. "Backstabbing doesn't suit the noble house of Phoenix," Alina said in a taunting tone as she twirled on her toes to dodge the incoming flame ball made by Riser in a sneak attack. "You bitch! I'll bend you on your knees and make you service me like a king," Riser shouted as he had a cringing face. He had never been humiliated like this before, being knocked put by a single punch, and then this strange icy fog could counteract his flames of rebirth. All of this frustrated him greatly. "You have quite a filthy mouth. You should be punished for it," Alina said with a smirk. "As for the Red Dragon Emperor, let him suffer for a bit for bad-mouthing my master." Alina lifted her right hand and swiped it vertically, creating a rift in space. She put her hand inside and pulled out an ornate wooden box. It was surrounded with purple and red symbols, creating graphic chains on it. The chains looked as if they were moving around the box. "This is a punishing formation tool used by my tribe, used to punish great wrongdoers and demons." Alina had a cold smile on her face. She placed the box on the palm of her hand and started a magic circle surrounding it. "Open," she said softly. The top corner of the box flipped open and large crimson chains started spilling out of it. The chains were as thick as an average man's legs. There seemed to be an unlimited amount of chains in the box. Go, she commanded. The chains whizzed off air towards Riser. All this time Riser was watching with sick fascination as he sensed his doom nearing him. The chains surrounded him in an instant and made him float in the air. His body made a huge plus sign in the air. All of this was being watched by the stunned devils as they were seeing something like this for the first time. This thing was not a sacred gear, they could feel it, but it was quite scary. You know the best part about these chains, they block the magic flow around your body, making you comparable to an ordinary human. The second best part is that the more you move, the more they will strangle you. Alina said with an evil smile on her pretty face. Let me go. Riser tried to activate his flames, but he got no response. He struggled with all his might. But the more he tried to struggle, the tighter the chains got. Oh, I forgot to tell you that after some time, they start attacking your sensory organs, making you feel unimaginable pain, Alina said. This is what you get for going against Master, she thought, as the chains started coiling around Riser like when an anaconda strangles its prey to death. When the pain kicked in, Riser for the first time in life felt like what it feels when you feel the burning sensation. It was as if thousands of searing hot needles were pricking him all around his body. Riser screamed so hard his vocal cords broke. Riser went limp in just seconds. His brain shutting down. Well, Master said not to kill anyone. It's enough of a punishment for now, she ordered the chains to go back to the box. This is enough to scare those devils watching. All the steps taken today were taken under Naruto's plan, the plan to build a reputation in the Devil Society to avoid the hassle made by haughty high-class devils thinking Naruto was a weak-ass devil easy to push around. Alina turned her attention to the Red Dragon Emperor, who was in desperate condition. His armor almost fully destroyed, just a thin layer of it was left, which was barely hanging on with the desperate attempts of the heavenly dragon residing the sacred gear. Alina had slowed down the tornado midway during her fight with Riser. She had seen that Issei would die if that goes on so as to keep him alive, but still in suffering she slowed the tornado down. She stopped the tornado, causing it to dissipate in the air. Issei fell down hard on the ground, creating a massive crater. She walked up to him slowly, taking her sweet time, knowing that everything was under her control. Durag, how much power do you have left? Issei asked with heavy breaths. Even talking right now was a chore for him. The tornado was accompanied with icy fog which had seeped into the armor, almost freezing him to death. There were ice deposits inside his armor restricting his movement. One last charge left, Durag answered in a deep tone. This fight had taken a lot from him. Saving his host from the tornado was what took the most out of him. Transfer all of it to my trump card, Issei said with a murderous look on his face. Are you sure, Issei? She is not like Riser, who is immortal. She will be seriously injured, she could die too. I can feel that she slowed down the tornado so we could stay alive. Durag asked seriously. The woman had shown them mercy, and trying to kill her didn't work well with him. I am sure. This bitch should be dead for all the pain she dealt with me, Issei said as he groaned when he tried to stand up. Almost all his bones were frozen stiff. As you say, Durag said with a heavy heart. Alina finally stood before the fallen Red Dragon Emperor. You are an insult to the Red Dragon Emperor legacy, Alina said with disdain all over her face. That might be true, but I will make you pay for all the pain you dealt me, you bitch. Issei shouted with all his might. Boost! 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 Transfer! Issei threw a bottle filled with a transparent liquid in it. It was glowing crimson due to its effects being magnified by the boosted gear. Issei fired a crimson beam on it when it reached near Alina, breaking the bottle, causing the liquid to head towards her. Shit, this was the only word in her mind right now. I was thinking about leaving him alive, but now I'll torture this kid to death, Naruto roared with anger written all over his face. Unleash it, Naruto commanded, Alina trough his mind. He hadn't thought that he would have to reveal her true nature so early. Alina had a relaxed smile on her face when she heard him. It was nice that now she will be able to lift the seal and revert it back to its original form. But having to do so in such a situation wasn't that nice. She will make this imbecile suffer for that. Alina relaxed her body and chanted something in an unknown but enchanting language. Her body loosened up, slowly falling down. With the liquid thrown by East Sage still coming at her, it seemed that she would be fatally injured. But she still had a relaxed smile on her face. The next instant, just when the liquid was about to fall on her, an icy blue light pulsed out from her body, lighting up the domain, and then... boom! It was as if a mini supernova was unleashed with her as the center. Everything surrounding her in a 20-meter range was obliterated, creating a huge crater. The dimension was unstable around the edges of the crater, pulsating with multicolored lights. Even devils around had felt the blast in the form of a small earthquake, shaking up the Grimmery Palace. This should not be possible, as Alina was in another dimension, but the force of the blast was so huge that it broke the temporary dimension, making it very unstable. When the light faded away, Alina was there, still looking the same, but if you looked closely, her features had gone under great change. Her face looked more angular and felt as if it was more in sync with nature. If before her body was comparable to that of supermodels, now it looked as if it had reached beyond perfection, making her a masterpiece in her own way. Her ears had gone a great change from round and human-like to large and pointy like that of vampires. The aura coming out of her body was comparable to that of the four Satans in their latent stages. Her boy was in sync with nature, as if blending right into nature. This is not possible. They were supposed to be extinct long before God created us, one of the older members of Devil Society said with an astonishment. I didn't think you would be able to get her to join her peerage. Their race is said to be extinct long before the Christian God created angels and devils. Her being alive is a miracle in itself. Ajuka Beelzebub said in an astounded tone. He seemed in high spirits on seeing one of the noblest races before him. Even angels were not as much loved by nature as much it loves elves. Could you lend her to me for some experiments? Ajuka asked in an excited tone. To him, she was just a servant under Naruto. I can give you any of my peerage members in exchange for her. The green glint of greed could be seen shining in his eyes. I could, if you offer your head to me first, Naruto said with a disgusted look on his face. These kinds of devils treated their peerage members as chess pieces, expendable when needed, making them no less the end monsters in his eyes. Ajuka had an enraged look on his face. He wanted to retaliate, but Surzex had signaled him to stay out for now. Naruto ignored the astonished devils around him and continued watching Alina. She started walking in a slow speed, but it seemed as if time was moving slowly around her, making her faster in a relative fashion. She walked up to the fallen Red Dragon Emperor. He was in dire straits. The blast had blown him hundreds of meters away near the edge of the dimension. There were injuries all over his body. His left shoulder was crushed due to impacting the ground hard, and his left arm had multiple fractures, but all of this saved his life as he was still breathing, a bit laboriously though. Just when his eyelids were closing up due to exhaustion, he caught a glimpse of Alina coming towards him, causing his heart to skip a beat out of fear. He fell unconscious after seeing that his attack had failed. The winner of this match is Alina, servant under Naruto Uzumaki. The contestants will now be teleported to the medical facilities for rejuvenation and healing of serious wounds. Graphia spoke out loud, ending the eventful match. That was quite a fascinating match. You outperformed those old dogs sitting high up in the society. Graphia had a smile as she walked up to him. The old dogs, she insisted, were obviously the heads of Grimmery, Phoenix, some other houses which were hell-bent on ruling the Devil Society in their own corrupted way. It was all right, Naruto casually waved off her compliments. But you, my dear, look ravishing tonight. Naruto put his hand on her waist and pulled her close. Naruto. Not here, everybody is watching. Graphia spoke in an embarrassed tone. Let them watch, Naruto whispered in a husky voice. Soon you will be mine, free from that pretentious little git, Naruto whispered in her ears. I am yours even now, but please don't fight him now. He is stronger than you right now, Grafia said in a serious tone. She wanted to be with him, but not at the price of him being hurt. Are you sure? I might be stronger than I look, Naruto replied in a playful voice. If you were, then you would have killed him on the spot without any hesitation. Grafia looked him in the eyes. Damn, you know me too well, Naruto said sheepishly. Well, somebody is getting jealous. Let's meet up afterwards at Kuho Academy. All this conversation was witnessed by the devils present around, making them uncomfortable, as the so-called master of Grafia was fuming on seeing this. He had tried everything possible to get his hands on her, but she never relented, but now, seeing her being so close to Naruto made him feel like a eunuch. Now he realized why she went missing sometimes, just so she could slut around with this bastard. See you soon. Grafia gave him a quick in the lips as she went on to handle the Gremory household with a merry look on her face. Surzex and Ajuka walked up to him with fake smiles on their faces. Congratulations on winning the match. Ajuka still had a face smile, but it turned into a vicious one as soon as he uttered his next words. But we can't let you take the rewards, as they would bring calamity to the Devil Society. The dragon population left would never allow the jewel to be taken, and the Phoenix family would revolt if we gave you Riser's Phoenix essence. Ajuka had a savage smile on his face as he announced this aloud to all the devils present. Are you sure you want to be the one to interfere between a promise made on River Styx? Naruto asked with a calm smile on his face. Ajuka choked on his own saliva on hearing this. The punishment for doing so would be extremely heavy, making it normal for him to fear taking responsibility of the task. No one did I say that. No, I did not mean that. You misunderstood me, Ajuka replied in a fearful tone, making a fool out of himself to all the devils present. Be that may, we can't let you do it without the heavenly dragon's permission, Surzex said with a solemn look on his face. But his internal thoughts couldn't differ more. By saying this, the blame would go on to the heavenly dragon himself. And knowing how prideful dragons are, he would choose to die rather than have his jewel taken by someone else. I am fine by that, replied with a calm tone, leaving Surzex confused. He had thought that he would resist, but he agreed so easily. What about the Phoenix blood essence? Naruto asked with a smirk. This time they couldn't deny him. It is all up to the Phoenix family, Surzex said with gritted teeth. This isn't in his hand, but he will. Him pay when his backup plan starts. Naruto walked up to the Lord of Phoenix house. He was a tall and muscular man with shoulder-length blonde hair which flickered with tiny flames sporadically. So what will it be, Lord Phoenix? Naruto asked with a smile. Don't force me, kid, Lord Phoenix said with gritted teeth. I am asking whether do you want to go against the oath or not? The smile on his face had grown wider. You'll regret this, kid. Lord Phoenix had a red face. He wanted to beat up this kid, but the whole Devil Society was here. If he did so, then it would be disastrous for their reputation. Lord Phoenix had a flaming aura covering his body when he left the hall out of anger. I can't underestimate the power of these old devils. By his power level, he can defeat an ultimate class devil easily. I should be careful, Naruto mumbled under his breath. Could you let my son go for just this once? I'll use up my favor for this. Rowena Phoenix came up to him with a sad smile on her face. She did not want her son to be devastated after this ordeal. Although he wasn't a good devil, yet a mother couldn't see her son suffering. You know we promised on River Styx, Naruto asked her seriously. Yes, but I don't want my son to suffer so much, Rowena said with tears in her eyes. You know that going against River Styx is not easy, Naruto asked again. Please, I beg you. Rowena was just going to bend on her knees to beg him when he stopped her. For others, it might be difficult, but I can do it. Naruto had a small smile on his face when he said this. Seeing her devotion for her children, he couldn't help but remember his mother, who was the same. But why do you still stay in this corrupted family? Naruto asked in confusion. About that, I want to talk to you about this afterwards. Let's meet at your place tomorrow, Rowena said with a complicated look in her eyes. Sure, let me handle Lady Styx first, Naruto said as he took out his mobile. If going against the promise made on Styx was so easy, then it wouldn't be the strongest promise around, Surzek scoffed when he heard him. He had intentionally spoken aloud so that everyone around could see Naruto make a fool out of himself. Naruto ignored him and continued fiddling with his phone. When he saw that the person on the other side had picked up, he put the phone near his ear. Hello, Auntie Styx, how are you? Yes, I missed you all a lot. I'll come to visit both of you. No. Don't tell her I came back. I'll tell her myself. Well, I just wanted to ask you if you could revoke the promise I made with some Riser Phoenix from the Devil World. No, I'm not messing around again. Thank you, Auntie. I'll be sure to send you some exotic sweets afterwards. Bye. Naruto ended the call. When he turned around, he could see everyone watching him as if he was some kind of exotic alien. What? Naruto asked. You just called Lady Styx, Ruina asked to make sure she wasn't hallucinating. Of course, Naruto replied as if having a conversation with one of the oldest titans was a normal thing in his life. You just called her auntie, she asked again. Well, she technically is as. Naruto stopped before he leaked any more information. Do we still go on with the plan? If he contacts Lady Styx for backup, we all are screwed, Ajuka asked Surzek in a worried tone. Don't worry, older gods can't visit the mortal plane without having a backlash, Surzek said in a reassuring tone, but on the inside even he was worried. If she really wanted to come, she could easily bend the world laws. How strong is Lady Styx really? Asked Naruto out of curiosity. Well, if I were to guess, then she would be stronger than all the mouths combined, Naruto said with a thoughtful look on his face. Then why isn't she on the top 10 strongest list? Ruina asked in confusion. That list is just for show, except for Ophis and the Dragon of Dreams, all other places are fake. Most of the gods like Lord Shiva, that bastard Zeus, and One-Eyed Odin, all of them couldn't cross over to the mortal realm easily before, so it was made. Ruina had a light of enlightenment in her eyes. Even though she was much older than him, she didn't know all of this. In common devil knowledge, these things weren't known. Why isn't this knowledge public? Ruina asked in confusion. We shouldn't talk about these things in public. Naruto had a solemn look on his face. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. She thought of how all their conversation could be heard by others around. Don't worry, I erected a sound isolation barrier around us, but let's talk about these things later. Come to my house with all those sided with me at that time or want to join my side now. Surzek scrunched his brows when he noticed the sound suppression barrier. How much of a pain can you be? He muttered under his breath. When Graphia came to tell him that both of them were in a stable condition now, he asked her to tell Riser that he was free of the debt and went to talk to Issei along with one of the hooded persons. I'm here to talk to Durag, Naruto interrupted before Issei could say something. Issei did not answer him. Durag had asked him to stay silent. Before you decide to do anything rash, have a word with him. Naruto indicated the person behind to come forward. It has been long, my rival, a deep voice came from the hooded man. May that be, it's how it has always been. Durag had a sad tinge to his voice. It can be over if you want it to be. He can help, Albion said in an understanding tone. What can he help with? This cycle was created by that old bastard. If I could, I would choose to die rather than be a slave to a new host every time. That may be, but he can break the cycle. This is my last host. Albion had a happy tone in his voice. Let me show you. A silver dragon with blue highlights on his wings emerged from the hooded person's body. It was made up of pure mana and gave an aura of power which suppressed every being in a 10 kilometers radius, including all the devils in the mansion, causing them to panic. Albion, suppress your aura, Naruto commanded. Yes, boss. Albion said sheepishly. Seeing Albion follow Naruto's commands readily, Durag and Issei could not help but be astonished. Especially Durag, he knew how prideful his rival was seeing him follow that boy made him interested in the boy. How will he break the cycle? Durag asked in an inquisitive tone. That is my choice. Are you willing to come under my command? If you are, then I'll think about it. If not, then I'll forcefully take your inner jewel and make you my slave, Naruto said in a calm tone. The decision was Durag's. If he resisted, then he'll just take the jewel forcefully. The dragon community may get angry, but he had ways to deal with it. Will I have my free will if I choose to do so? Durag asked in a defeated tone. He could feel that the devil in front of him would do exactly what he said. Of course, if possible, I want a comrade, not a lifeless slave, Naruto said in a reassuring tone. Then I choose to be under your command. Being in your command is better than going through this haunting cycle, Durag said with conviction. But I have a condition. I'll follow you only if you can keep my host alive through the process, Durag said in a deep tone. Even though he chooses to follow the devil, he still couldn't let his host die through the process. That may be a problem. I have to kill him for trying to kill Alina. Naruto couldn't forget that Issei had tried to kill her. Please, could you grant this favor? I'll follow your every command. I can't find it in my heart to let him be killed before my eyes, Durag pleaded for Issei. I shall grant you this favor, but he has to pay for what he did, Naruto said with steel in his voice. Naruto put his palm on Issei's chest and spoke in an unknown language. A magic circle appeared on Issei's chest. Issei started screaming as he felt something inside him stir. 8 pawn pieces appeared floating beside the magic circle. On seeing these, Issei knew that his life was over. He fainted due to magical exhaustion. Fear not, he isn't going to die. I just created a false chess piece inside him and took out Rias's chess pieces. I can't have someone like him in her peerage. He will have to live on his own now. So are you ready to start your life anew? Naruto asked Durag. It seems so, Durag said in a faintly excited tone. Ah. I was just about to call you for Durag's extraction from Issei's body, Naruto said with a smile as he turned around to see Alina coming inside the room.